So what if I told you the key to building a $1 billion empire wasn't some genius business plan, but a deep personal insecurity? Today, we're going to break down one of the most fascinating business stories of the last decade. Yeah, it's a story about makeup, money, and fame, but at its heart, it's about the psychology of turning your deepest vulnerability into your greatest asset. This is the Kylie Jenner Code.
Just take a look at this. On the left, that was the story the world wrote for her back in 2012. The 14-year-old ugly sister, totally overshadowed, pretty much dismissed. She was kind of an afterthought in a world-famous family. But then, look to the right. 10 years later, she's not just a billionaire, she's the one who built the empire.
So the question is, how on earth does that happen? And I know what you're thinking. Privilege, money, connections. And yeah, all of that was absolutely fuel in the tank. But her siblings had the exact same advantages, and they didn't do this. The real reason is a specific psychological code, a set of principles she used, maybe without even knowing it, to weaponize her wounds and completely rewrite her story. And over the next few minutes, we are going to break down that exact code step by step.
Okay, let's dive into key number 1, which is honestly maybe the most powerful part of this whole thing. It's this idea that your greatest wound can become your greatest weapon, but only if you have the guts to actually wield it.
It all started right here. For years, Kylie was deeply, deeply insecure about her lips. This quote, it captures the origin story, just a casual comment from a boy when she was 15 that completely haunted her. For a long time, she did what most of us do with our insecurities, right? She hid it, she denied it, she tried to cover it up. But then, in a move that would change absolutely everything, she stopped hiding. She turned that vulnerability into a product. She launched Kylie Lip Kits and built the entire brand around that one single insecurity. And this gets to a really powerful psychological principle you see right here, authentic wound marketing. See, when you sell confidence from a place of having once had none, people feel that. They feel the difference. They trust you on a much deeper level.
So here's the crucial point. Millions of people weren't just buying lip liner, they were buying the transformation. They were buying the story of a girl who took the very thing she was shamed for and turned it into a source of power. She became a mirror for anyone who had ever been told that some part of them just wasn't enough.
Okay, so let's move to our second key and see how this all builds. This is the reinvention principle. Now, most people reinvent themselves reactively, after a failure or a breakup. But Kylie's reinvention wasn't a defense, it was an offense. It was proactive. She decided to become someone new before anyone told her she had to.
And this timeline just lays it all out perfectly. In just 12 months, she went from being the overlooked footnote in 2014 to a cultural icon in 2015. And let's be super clear here, this was no accident. This was an engineered transformation. From her entire look to her public persona, the whole thing.
The psychological term for this is proactive identity construction. Most of us are pretty passive. We become who our family, our friends, or the internet tells us we are. Kylie looked at the story being written about her, the plain little sister, and she just said, nope. She rejected it. She decided she was going to write a different story for herself.
And this isn't just for celebrities, you can do this too. First, you have to identify the story you've been assigned. Are you the quiet one, the unlucky one? Second, you have to decide on your new narrative, and you gotta be specific, not just more confident, but I'm the person who builds things. Third, you build daily evidence. Every single action is another brick in that new identity. And finally, you just repeat it, day after day, until that new story is more real than the old one ever was.
This brings us to key number 3, the visibility game. And this is where so many people get it wrong. They say she's just famous for being famous, but that completely misses the genius of it. Her visibility was never an accident, it was always a strategy.
And here is the really counterintuitive core of her strategy. What Kylie understood way before most marketing execs is that the most powerful form of visibility is often strategic invisibility. What you withhold is often so much more powerful than what you show.
I mean, just think back to 2017. While she was pregnant with her daughter Stormy, she basically disappeared from social media. For months, almost complete radio silence. No bump pictures, no announcements, nothing. The entire world was speculating, but she wasn't talking.
And what happened? Her absence created a complete firestorm of attention. The conversation about her was louder than ever, precisely because she wasn't posting. By saying nothing, she controlled everything. She totally mastered the power of silence.
So this brings the question right back to you. In a world that's screaming at us to share everything, what are you giving away too freely? And this isn't just for celebrities hiding a pregnancy.
This is about not announcing a new project until you've made real progress, or not sharing every detail of a new business idea before it's actually ready. The takeaway here is huge. Sometimes, the smartest move you can make is to be just like 30% more private, more intentional about what you reveal to the world.
All right, let's tie all these ideas together with our final key. And this one is all about mindset. Because you can have all the right strategies in the world, but without the right internal framework, the armor, the ownership, the vision, it all just falls apart under pressure.
This quote right here might be one of the most important takeaways from this entire explainer. Kylie Jenner has faced a relentless storm of criticism for over a decade. And the reason she's still standing is that she learned to treat other people's opinions as information, not instructions. Information is something you can consider. Instructions are something you have to follow. She does not let criticism dictate her direction.
This is the key to her psychological armor. Instead of getting into these endless arguments online, she just focused on building. Her empire is the ultimate clapback. She didn't waste time arguing with her critics, she just outbuilt them. Because really, nothing silences critics like becoming undeniably great at the very thing they said you couldn't do.
So, what does this empire mindset actually look like? Well, it's got 5 core parts. First up, vision always comes before strategy. You decide what you're building, and the how will follow. Second, build your audience before you need it. She built trust for years before she sold a single thing. Third, treat your personal brand as a serious business asset. Fourth, own your mistakes and recover fast. Don't dwell on them. And finally, and this one is crucial, protect your vision from people who, consciously or not, benefit from you staying small.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We've just broken down the Kylie Jenner Code, but this isn't just some celebrity story. It's a blueprint. It's a set of principles that's available to any of us.
Here's the code, one last time. Key 1. Your wound is your weapon. Turn your insecurity into your greatest asset. Key 2. The reinvention principle. Proactively decide who you are going to become. Key 3. Master the visibility game. Understand that what you hide is just as powerful as what you show. Key 4. The criticism armor. Let your results be your response. And finally, Key 5. The empire mindset. Protect your vision always. Kylie Jenner didn't start with $1 billion. She started with a wound, a boy who said her lips were too small, and an internet that called her the ugly sister. And instead of letting it break her, she built an entire empire right on top of it. So the final question, really, is for you. You have a wound too. We all do. The question is, how will you use it?